Hello teacher, this is my practicum exam. Okay, so in this third practicum experience, I was on the Teniente Dagoberto Godoy school located in La Granja. This school is part of a red, like an institution. It is part of Red Crecemos. My practicum was on a third grade, and they had 2 pedagogical hours of English per week. So the English subject is a taller, and the final grade is a mark to the language subject. Moving on to the organization of the class, students were organized by groups of 6. They are 34 in total, and they were organized inside the classroom on groups. Some of the routines I saw in their English classes were like the greetings song, like good morning, yeah, that song. And the climate was very good. Yeah, students are very energetic, were very energetic. So as I said before, they were like 35 students inside the classroom, and their age range goes between 8 and 9 or 7 and 9. Talking about diversity, there were like many foreign students, like from Venezuela. Yeah, most of the foreign students were from Venezuela. And talking about special educational needs, there were like 4 students with special needs. So moving into the reflection, I can say from this practicum that this was my favorite one. I also realized that now I can see things that I don't like talking about administrative things. For example, the inconsistencies between students in 3rd grade, like their participation in English classes and their marks in written tests, because classes are like very fun, like with a lot of movements, a lot of songs, a lot of music, but their way to assess that is to make a written test, and I think that they don't fit. There's a lot of inconsistency there. Some things to improve, like weaknesses, is that as I only had like higher grades on the other practicums, being a practicum student in 3rd grade makes you realize that you have to act, like you have to put a different skin depending on students, like in students' age and their enthusiasm. And yeah, I think I have to improve that. Okay, so another strength that I saw in this practicum was that I gained confidence in talking to students, but I also realized that this was because students talked to me. Another thing I think I must improve is classroom management, and I realized that because it is really important to manage some situations, like behavior in students, or like following instructions to do activities. And I figured this out because most of the activities my partner and I did ended in a mess. So we have to give like more clear instructions, and it is difficult to do that in a classroom with 35 students with a lot of energy. And to sum up, one of the most important things I realized in this practicum experience, or that I took of this practicum experience, is that it is important to motivate students in classes doing like fun activities, using movements, using songs, using like fun things, but it is also important in the time that you assess them, like include those things or those strategies to assess them in the way they like to be assessed. And I know that this is not something that will always happen in their future as students, but if it is a third grade that has English as a taller, like part of something else, you don't need to be that like that rude or doing a thing in classes, but doing a completely different thing to assess them is like, it doesn't make sense to me at least. And I think this is like the most important thing that came into my mind, and I don't think it will disappear soon.